You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hello guys, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I can't wait to deliver this particular episode to you guys. This is a pre-recorded episode, but we still have fun on our pre-recorded shows, right? Of course we do. So we have a very special guest, and so stick around. Most likely you have perfectly a legitimate reason for not taking action. You haven't been able to get out and exercise because the weather has been so bad. You can't get any work done on your marketing plan because the phone keeps ringing. So go ahead and give up. Admit defeat. The weather is not going to improve anytime soon, and the phone calls just keep coming. Oh my goodness. The obstacles that prevent you from taking action are not going away. Admit defeat, and then find a way to take action anyway. That's the key, guys. Rather than fighting against something that you cannot change, look for ways to adapt. As long as you're fighting against it, you get a great excuse. But excuses won't help you accomplish anything. So give up the fight, give up the excuses, go ahead and do what needs to be done. Accept the fact that, there are obstacles. Get it behind you, and then take action that will bring you success. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
All right. Well, tonight's interview is the Amanda Rae Interview. And again, I'm your host, dini-mussolini. 2013, I believe, was the year of numerous written interviews sent out to people that I wanted to interview. And this year, 2019, we're on a new wave, a live booming podcast with artists, authors, entrepreneurs that are constantly requesting to be on the show. Now, I did a big time leap there, 6 years to be exact. It's not bragging by the least bit. It's showing you guys, my family, that there is growth when you stick with a solid mission. And trust me, everything doesn't always go according to plan. We have bad nights, but we sleep on it, or in my case, think on it, dream of a solution to fix what needs to be fixed. And then start again on a new day. Stuff happens. Save face and keep it moving like a true professional. Not perfectionist, I said professional. And believe me, guys, I can assure you from the calluses on the tips of my typing fingers, these interviews still go out all the time. I do at least 40 a month. But yeah, and 2013, we started out with just one listener for a very long time. And now look at us, we're 37,000 live. Keep going, guys. If you see what you want to do, all it takes is action, and just to keep going, And I know I can ramble on so much, But we are here now in this minute. So with that said, I'd like to personally invite you guys to meet this genuine person of our entertainment and podcasting future, coming to us all the way from the state of Montana. She's a podcast creator, a speaker, author. Her name is Amanda Rae. She's here on the podcast to talk about her projects and her life. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome her to the show. Hey, Amanda, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you with us today. So what's up?
Well, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous that I'm actually here talking to you right now.
Yeah. It's great to have you, like I said. And thank you so much for being here, of course, and taking out the time to chat with old Dini. I got a few questions for you, and just right off the rip, first beginning with, of course, welcome. How you feeling? And we like stories here at Vigilantes Radio, so what's your story? And you can go back as far as you want to.
Okay, well, my story actually starts when I was 6 years old. I ended up getting diagnosed with epilepsy, and pretty much have lived with it ever since. Around the age 20, I started my website to kind of do epilepsy awareness and, get that knowledge out there to people. And it just kind of broadened into anxiety, depression, toxic relationships, and it just, the more I do it, the more it just kind of broadens and changes. And that's one thing I like is change.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how long have you been doing your show?
I have probably been doing my podcast for about a month now.
That's awesome. Well, definitely my hat's off to you for getting started. Before you began to do your show, like how long was it like an idea in your head?
Honestly, it kind of just popped in my head one night, and I just didn't hold back and started my podcast, just using my phone. I use Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
I know And the only reason I started using that platform actually is because I was invited onto a podcast called 1 in 26 by my friend. She runs it, and it's an epilepsy awareness, epilepsy teaching podcast. And I kind of got hooked after I talked to her on it.
Wow. Okay. Well, you most certainly did better than I did. It took me like an entire year to finally, get the courage to jump into podcasting. All right, so tell us again more in depth about your podcast and kind of like your format. Do you have guests on, or are you just motivating your listeners?
Both.
Okay.
So I give out motivational speeches pretty much every Wednesday, but coming these next 2 weeks, I have interviews with other people. I've been on 2 other podcasts, and so I'm making those relationships still. And I'm going to have an interview with my friend Jamie that I was on her podcast, and a motivational speaker and a life coach who's actually going to be on my podcast.
Nice.
So I just, and the third one is 2 guys that have been friends for like 22 years, and it's just that boggles my mind, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a friendship that lasts that long, but I'm also not to that age yet. But I want to get in depth, and I want to help people learn, these things are possible. And so I do both the motivational speeches and, the interviews, get other people's points of view. I have one episode, people change when they enter relationships. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, Dini.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a 2-part episode. So, and the second part, because when I went into it on the first part, I didn't know exactly how to go at it. So I made it a 2-part, and then 2-part I actually brought my boyfriend onto it and discussed it with him. In my opinion, you really can't learn with just one person's opinion. You need a broadening of that.
Yeah.
A broadening of people's opinions. So that's kind of the angle I come at.
Okay, I like that. So you kind of want to also, how can I say, transcend into like a motivational speaker, right?
Yeah, I'd like to become a motivational speaker someday. Hopefully sooner than later. I like making people feel better about themselves, and that's pretty much what my goal is. I know someday I'll make that impact, just I know it's not tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So each and every day on Earth, walls are torn down and, then put back up again in relationships. As you know, people change, as you mentioned before. Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's for the worse. And it's a never-ending battle for understanding and understanding. So tell us straight up. In this day and age of social media, instant fame, and life being viewed in plain sight, can we really feel how we want to feel without judgments, or does the true freedom of expression exist?
It's funny that you actually bring that up, because to this day in social media, there's actually been studies done that, the millennial age, they are the most depressed and most filled with anxiety because of social media.
Yeah.
They need that validation. So yeah, I do think it kind of, what's the word for it? It is that never-ending battle for people to get that validation that they want, and the instant fame, whatever you want to call it, it's almost unrealistic in my opinion. There isn't really instant fame. I feel you have to work for it.
Yeah, I think so too. Everybody's not as lucky as Justin Bieber, you know.
That's another story.
Yeah, but I'm sure he worked hard, you know, with his voice and everything. But
yeah.
And you know, and the aspect of time, I don't know, when I was a kid, it just felt like it takes forever for certain things to happen. And now as an adult, it's like I don't have enough time to do anything. And truthfully, I'm still stuck in 2018 doing stuff and not really prepared to be in 2019. But I'm here, can't change it. So nowadays, you always have to be, you know, on the boards or social media promoting this, tweeting that, posting about that, just to maintain the relevance, especially in the podcast world or any kind of entertainment world. And it can get exhausted. So tell us about the struggle that you face as an independent content creator, because I truly feel that a lot of people don't really understand the struggle that comes with this particular practice.
You know, it's hard, honestly, because, and the keeping up, that's the hard part right there. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. Like right before I called you, I put out a tweet that I was going to be talking to you here in a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. So it actually irritated my boyfriend because we were watching a movie, and it does get in the way of relationships.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And I know I have to put my phone down because I am a single mom, and, you know, I have to take care of my kid, and it's just like in the back of my head, okay, well, once he goes to bed, you know, when can I do this, or what should I put up? It's hard, like, and creating like the sentences, or, you know, for Instagram, the pictures, it's just like, okay, what can I post next? How am I going to keep people interested in me?
Yes. Wow. I think we're kind of one and the same there. I always gotta, you know, come up with ideas for like a week if you want to stay ahead of the curve. And, you know, the relationship thing too. I have a fiance, and oh, you're doing all these podcasts. When is it going to be my turn, you know, or my time?
Yeah.
And she listens to the show, so when I talk about her, you're talking about me. Yeah. I mean, you have the show, but is that struggle to, you know, separate the personal life from the professional life? You have goals, we have dreams to pursue, and we would like for you to be on board with them and not, you know, put your phone down.
And it's hard.
Yeah,
it's harder because I'm not a full-time podcaster yet. I mean, I still have that job that gives me money.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I mean, so I have to go to work, and as I'm at work, it's just like on my breaks, I'm like, okay, content for this. And when I get home, it's just like, okay, more work, more recording. And it's just my boyfriend's like, okay, when are you going to stop?
Mm-hmm. So what aspirations keep you up at night?
I'd say, you know, I want to make something of myself and be an example for my son. Mm-hmm. You know, be that person that he's proud of, that he can just bring his friends home and, yeah, that's my mom. She's a famous podcaster, a famous motivational speaker. And, you know, I live in a small town in Montana, and not a lot of people actually leave this town becoming something, and that's just, I want a better life for me and my son and my boyfriend, of course. So I want to create that. I have a drive for all that. Like, I can't narrow it down to like one single thing. Yeah. And that's just it. My mind's constantly running on what I can do next.
Yeah.
You know, like, what does the future hold for me, and what can I do to make the future that I want?
Mm-hmm. And in your professional opinion, Amanda, what are some of the keys to growing a larger fan base?
Make your relationships on, similar content creators. Make relationships with them, become friends with them. And, their followers will come check you out and maybe say, oh, hey, I'm interested in this person as well because they have this in common with this. Like, if I could tell you the amount of fitness people I follow on Instagram because of one single fitness person who showed up in a picture with them, it's ridiculous. I probably follow 50 fitness people.
Are you into fitness a lot?
Yeah, I'm actually, on Wednesdays, I actually live stream and record a live podcast, a live recording. I haven't figured out how to actually, stream live yet for my podcast.
Okay.
Still working on that. But, so I'll record while I'm live on Instagram and kind of talk about, what I'm doing. And, I've been running taking dietary supplements, new vitamins, and just kind of changing my health. I don't have a goal. I'm going to just go until I'm satisfied with who I am and how I look and how I feel.
Got you. Okay. How many days a week do you podcast?
2. I have my regular scheduled Mondays, motivational Mondays. And I do have some bonus episodes every now and again. But Mondays, and then I do end up posting those ones that I recorded live on Instagram on Fridays.
Okay.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I guess you could kind of say.
Okay, cool. And what other challenges do you face in today's podcast industry?
That's a good question, and it's something that I've been thinking about, like what challenges there are for me. I'm not going to say climbing the ranks, but where I listen to motivational speaking myself, there is a lot of motivational speakers on Spotify and all those Spotify, Pocket Cast, and all those kind of platforms. And trying to set myself apart from the crowd is my struggle. I mean, I do try to use my epilepsy for it, and after saying that aloud, that sounds really bad, but it's something that sets me apart from the crowd is my epilepsy. And that's right. Where my other name, Epileptic-Mom, so my podcast, Hear Me Out, is Hear Me Out with Epileptic-Mom. And so that's kind of the only way I've been able to try and set myself apart from the rest, but it's pretty hard trying to set myself apart.
Yeah. I mean, the industry is kind of booming now, with a lot of content creators are coming out, motivational speakers and whatnot. But given that, I mean, you have a brand there. What I've just heard you say, that's definitely a brand. But how important is it for you to have your personal image tied to your podcast and your work?
Very, actually, because, this all started out with a blog, epileptic-mom.com. And Epileptic Mom is me, so, I have to follow that image pretty much that I've created for myself, and I really shouldn't say created because that it is who I am. I'm blunt, I'm positive, I'm all of those wrapped up into one. I want to, help people. As cheesy as that sounds, and I'm a cheesy person. I will say the cheesiest things. I ramble. I mean, I can say on a handful of more than a handful of times that I catch myself typing on my blog and it's just and I read it and I was like, I started rambling in text. And so instead of just fixing it, I'll just put in parentheses, sorry, I lost track.
Hey, that's
because I want to stay true to who I am.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. It's very personable. So are you solely responsible for creating all of the content for your podcast?
I want to say yes, but no at the same time, because before I record, I usually run my ideas past my boyfriend, and he kind of says, well, maybe if you say this instead of that, it'll sound better. He'll just put in those little tweaks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we have a lot of listeners who want to do what you're doing, create a podcast, start a business, be a motivational speaker or artist, actor, author. So they want to know the keys. They won't ask me for some reason, but we'll ask you, Amanda. What all goes into creating a podcast?
So you want to give me some keys real quick? When it goes to starting a podcast, like I said already, I just started out using the microphone in my phone.
Right.
And then I slowly upgraded to a microphone and then I'm using my newest microphone at the moment. I've already been through 2 microphones. So I'm not going to say equipment. It's pretty much, if you're passionate about it, go for it, do it. Mm-hmm. You got to fall on your face a few times before you succeed. And trust me, I've fallen quite a few times.
Great keys. And also, along with being Superwoman, sorry to give away your identity there, but you're also penning a book. Let's dive deep for a second and let us know about that book that you're up to over there.
So, good news, my book is actually in publishing.
What? Awesome.
Yep.
How did you celebrate?
Wine and steak.
Sounds great.
What else would you celebrate?
Sounds great.
But so yeah, my book. That's actually part of the reason I started the podcast too. Side note. It's a self-help book.
Okay.
And it's called You because I wrote it for you, the reader or listener, however you want to put it, because I'm in the works of making it an audiobook as well.
Ooh.
But it kind of, some of the words I've already actually said tonight, are actually in the book. They're from the book. You validate yourself, and it's pretty much, it's going to help the readers sift through, the people in their lives, who are the good ones, who are the bad ones. There's a saying that I have put in there: people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
I like that.
And so those are, they need to figure out who the reasons are and who the seasons are and who your lifetimes are.
I mean, that can be kind of hard. For me at least, because I like to interview all of them, like for
No.
Well,
and it is hard, especially those seasons versus lifetime.
Yeah.
I had a friend who I thought was my lifetime. Turns out she was a season. And I kind of dive into my divorce a little, but I think book 2 will talk mostly about that.
Okay. Saving it for your show, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to tune in and check that one out. So, while we're on the subject of that, where can people listen to your show? And give us those website links and all those different things where people can find you online.
So, Hear Me Out is on anchor.fm. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can find me on Instagram at eplileptic-mom. and I'm on Twitter is epileptic-mom, AR, and I have a Facebook page, epileptic-mom. Pretty much if you type in epileptic-mom, you're going to find me.
There's that brand.
Not very close. It has become my brand, and epileptic-mom.com is my main source. Every blog has all of the links at the bottom with my signature. It's just, it's who Epileptic Mom has kind of pretty much become who I am.
Yeah. And what's your favorite social media to connect with like potential guests and just people who want to send you a thank you note?
I'd say actually Instagram is where I talk to most people.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram or Facebook.
Okay. Nice. And guys, just in case you need those links, I do have them in the show notes and in the description of this episode, so all you have to do is click the hyperlinks and they'll take you right to it. Well, Amanda, I want to thank you so much for being my guest today. It was a pleasure chatting with you about your life and all the projects you have going on. Would you like to leave us with any motivational speeches, perhaps? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Put me in the hot seat.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind, and the one that I say pretty much, and I've said it at least 5 times during this show, is you validate yourself. The people surrounding you, their opinions don't matter. They could think the worst of you, but you know the best of you. And so that is how you validate yourself. Validation comes from yourself, and with validation comes along confidence, and your confidence comes within yourself. You don't need other people to tell you who you are.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Yeah, we have a little tradition called the hot seat. I couldn't play any music tonight for some reason. Just wouldn't, queue up right. But was there anything that you wanted to perform during our hot seat section?
Oh, I'm good.
No, you don't want to sweat? Okay.
You don't want to hear me sing. Oh, trust me on that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Amanda Rae. I really enjoyed speaking with you tonight. And I'll be checking out your show as well, and maybe give you a little shout out here and there while I'm doing my show.
Well, thank you, Dini. I love talking to you, and I hope I get to talk to you again soon.
Sure thing. You're welcome back anytime.
Well, I got a second book in mind, so you never know.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a great night.
You too, Dini.
All right.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website, and that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, dini-mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the #1 rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace. and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.